Have you been to New York before?
No.
Well, in New York, they have their own hospitals, they have their own schools, they have their own neighborhoods, right? They subscribe to the religion of Judaism. The Talmud and the Kabbalah are the books that they use to get their wisdom. They don't even look to the Bible, but that's who truly runs the government. Because even the Ku Klux Klan, they say they hate the Jews. But it's like, ain't both of y'all white? Amongst white people, there are different tribes. There are different groups as well, just like we're Israelites, but we're different tribes from the Hispanics, right? The Mexicans. We're Israelites, but we're different tribes from the Puerto Ricans, right? The same thing with white people, right? Their nation is Edom, but among their nation, they have tribes. Amalek is a tribe of the Edomites that are the most powerful at this time. The Bible calls them the synagogue of Satan. Right, hold this real quick in Revelation 2.
You know, I'm a deep psychic person. That kind of deep. I like how you said Edom. Okay, ain't this the land of the freedom? Like maybe they just threw it's free for Edom, but it's the land of the Edom, freedom. It's their land in their eyes. I kind of like that.
You say you can't spell freedom without Edom.
Yeah.
Because the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked. It's their time to rule. So this is their freedom. This is, we are waiting for the kingdom to come. This is their kingdom. So what they need to do is commit all of the devilishment they can. Smoke crack, have sex with German shepherds, rape, rob, murder, because this is the time that the Most High ordained for them to, exercise their wickedness in the earth, for the lack of a better word. You can bring out what you got, Revelation 2 and 9.
This is Revelations 2 and 9.
Come.
I know thy works in tribulation, in poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them that which say they are Jews and are not.
The Bible said they know the blasphemy. Something that's blasphemy is like a lie that God hates. It said, I know the blasphemy of them that call themselves Jews and are not. Who's in the earth right now call themselves Jewish? Right? Not us. We call ourselves Israelites from our respective tribes. Judah is a tribe, but we don't call ourselves Jewish. We call ourselves Jews for short. But who's calling themselves Jews and are not? Bring this out from the top one more time, Baba Kashaf.
Revelations 2 and 9. I know thy works in tribulation, in poverty, but thou art rich.
Thou art what?
Thou art rich.
Hey, because we have the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the scriptures. We know that we're the Lord's chosen people. Go ahead.
And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not.
And are what?
And are not.
Go ahead.
But are the synagogue of Satan.
Hey, because we don't worship in synagogues. We worship in the Baptist church.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In the old rundown shack. But who worships in synagogues? Right? Where they go to their rabbis. Those are the people that call themselves Jewish, right? And that word synagogue means chief house. And the chief house of the nation of Edom is Amalek, right? Even the clan hates that sect of their brothers, right? Bring this out in Revelation 3 and 9 real quick. It said they are Jews, they call themselves Jews and are not, but the Bible calls them the synagogue of Satan. They don't fit any of these prophetic curses that were foretold to fall on us, right? First fired, last hired, houses destroyed, the woman against you, the head and not the tail, the borrower and not the lender. That's the Israelite condition. That's not the condition of these so-called Jews before 1948 or prior. You can bring out what you got.
Revelations 3 and 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie.
But what?
But do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have beloved thee.
Hey, and that manifested earlier.
That's right.
A harbinger of things to come. These nations, they're going to bow before us, right? The scripture says in Luke 19, it said, bring them hither and slay them before me. Right. But every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess. A lot of people say, I believe in Buddha, Allah, Krishna. It's going to be get down or lay down. The same way that Islam was perpetuated and pushed throughout the earth by the sword. Those Arabs, they had that sword telling you to convert to Islam or we're going to kill you. The same thing with Christianity, with the Crusades. The white man went with his Bible and he went with his sword. He took our land, our resources. He gave us this religion, and to our people that didn't want to subscribe to his religion of Christianity, guess what? You had to get down with that sword, right? So Islam was pushed through conquest, through bloodshed, through force. That's why we say every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess. It's going to be a one world government with our Lord at the top and his people. We're going to be the praise of the earth once again, right? And it's already happened. You know, just the minds of our people are starting to emerge. And we're starting to raise up and exceed in great honor. Right? You go ahead.
This is Luke 19:27.
Come.
But those mine enemies, which would not I would reign over them, bring them hither and slay them before me.
Hey, it said, those mine enemies, which wish not that I reign over them. Because, hey, we are exhorting our people in this time. Y'all are just walking according to your own lust. Nothing is reigning over y'all. No standards, principles, morals, values, rules, law, statutes, and commandments. Our people don't observe that. They're lawless. Right? Bring this out one more time.
Luke 19:27. But those mine enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me.
Hey, it's going to be get down and lay down in the kingdom to come. If our people want to be wicked, it said that in Isaiah 13. Right? Those that join to them, they're going to fall by the sword. Right? You can bring this out in Matthew 24 and 14, and we're about to wrap this up. And hey, thank you for your patience as well, brother. You know, beautiful spirit. And hey, Matthew 24 and 14 is going to go into...
I get where you come. I'm a very spiritual person. You know, my name is Jesse, but my name is Jesus in Spanish.
All right, Jesus.
And I started to realize that I believe in a God, but I don't know if it's a time traveler. But this whole year, and it's crazy, because 22:20, Revelation, I flip it to 2022. I realize I don't see monsters and I don't see aliens. I see, if the aliens are real, they up there, but I see technology. I see codes and wires and CIA, FBI, Mason, Eastern Stars. I see alphabets and numbers.
Right.
But it was scary because it like somebody knew in the future that like I don't know if I had something to do, like I would come in and tell the world. So it was like, it's weird.
Right.
So I was gonna stop, period.
Right. You said you feel like you're from another time, but you said you feel like the enemy in this time is technology.
Yeah. The wires, phones, CIA, FBI, it's been going on for years. I couldn't solve the issue, but like you said, it's like even when you figure out, they never gonna repent. They ain't never gonna repent. It don't matter if you figure out what they doing is wrong. Cause to me, hacking and stealing people's shit, watching them, getting their information, that's really wrong. If somebody, I feel them try to keep balance on earth and all that, but that's really a violation of your privacy.
Yeah, and is you got divine order for you to try to come and curb the human population.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For you to say the earth is overpopulated. So they want to reduce the population. That's the Georgia Guidestones, where they plan on reducing the global population of 7.6 billion to 150 to 500 million perpetually. That's the plan of the elite. That's what you're saying. And yeah, that just goes against divine order. And this is why it says that if God doesn't come and redeem us, it'll be no flesh saved. See if you can get that no flesh saved real quick. Because like you're saying, when you're dealing with technology, even though you have the ability to tap into Google, to have video conferences, to talk to people that you see, which was, you know, like science fiction at one point, to be able to talk on the phone and look at the person while you're having a conversation with them. Because 100 years ago, you didn't even have color TV. You didn't even have television. But these technologies, you know, just like with the phone, you have 5G technology, 4G. You got Wi-Fi, which causes radiation. It's a carcinogen. It causes cancer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just like with the food, how they spray all type of herbicides, pesticides, fungicides on the food because they saying that naturally they are helping the food. It's technology. Just like with the medical and the pharmaceutical industries. At one point, our people are homeopathic, naturopathic. Our people had Native American remedies for every cure until the white man started finding synthetic forms of drugs. Technology, through his technology. Even when you're dealing with his intercontinental ballistic missiles, right? At one point, they had atom bombs. During the time of Nagasaki and Hiroshima, he dropped an atom bomb on that land in Japan. But now, through their technology, Albert Einstein, he said, I don't know how the Third World War will be fought, but the fourth will be fought with sticks and stones. Because they understand World War III, the technology that's going to be implemented in this warfare, intercontinental ballistic missiles, thermonuclear annihilation, they said World War IV is going to be fought with sticks and stones. Why? Because their technology is going to be their ruin. The very thing that they're using to gain their control is going to be the same thing they're going to use to take down one another. And it's going to be the same thing to take them out. You know, hence the 5G, 4G, cell towers, things of that nature. You know, these things cause cancer to our bodies and it attributes to our mortality rate. Oh, you can bring that. No flesh saved.
This is Matthew 24 and 22. And except those days shall be shortened.
Hey, the scripture said, except those days be shortened, the Most High crack the clouds with those angels and deliver us from this captivity and bring these heathen low. It said, except those days be shortened. Go ahead.
There should be no flesh be saved.
They said what?
There should be no flesh be saved.
Hey, the white man to destroy everybody, including his goddamn self. It said, unless the Most High come and shorten the days. Bring this out.
I'm going to start at 21. Come. Matthew 24 and 21.
Come.
For then shall there be great tribulation, such as not seen since the beginning of the world to this time, nor shall ever be. And except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
Hey, because the Bible speaks about the elect. The elect, basically, they were the spirits that were here from the beginning. And even in this time, those same elect spirits, they're going to come back to the Father in spirit and in truth. And the Most High, He's going to come back and He's going to bring this society low for the sake of those men. Right? Because the Bible speaks about, in Revelation 7, 12,000 men out of each one of these tribes, as well as a great multitude in Revelation 7 and 9. Right? But it said that these people, it said that we won't be saved in this place if the Most High doesn't cut short the time and come and redeem us. Why? Because you have the so-called white man trying to kill off a lot of our babies in the abortion clinics, right? Giving the women liberty. That's what they're marching about this week, Roe versus Wade. Right? Because in certain, what you call blue states, they're still going to allow these abortions to be facilitated. But the red states, they're going to try to restrict these abortions from happening. But this is what brings down our population numbers, right? A lot of our women that have big, healthy, robust families, if it wasn't for those abortion clinics, where they take their babies wholesale to be murdered, right? No flesh saved. You know, a lot of men are LGBT, homosexual. They don't even want to have babies. They're not trying to reproduce, right? So how are they benefiting our nation? No flesh saved, right? If it was up to them, it'll be genetic annihilation. If all of us were to subscribe to that death style, you know, because life is a man and a woman producing a child, right? Death is a man crawling another man's ass, creating disease, right? But it's a mirage and a plethora of ways that the so-called white man is attacking us. The brother brought out just a few when he was bringing out, you know, the earth being given into the hand of the wicked, right? How he controls all these different facets. Every aspect and facet of our life is ruled over by Esau, white supremacy. Labor, law, sex, sports, politics, entertainment, race plays a part in it. And if it's up to him, we're going to be at the bottom perpetually. And God didn't create us to be the white man's slave, to be up under his thumb forever.
And even though I came to a crowd, I'm secular, but that means I just believe in God. So whatever is wrong, right, what they think it is, I don't know. But I'm on the same path as you. I feel like, how you gonna get something back? They never gonna give you back without taking it. So when you were telling me that,
Woo, say that one more time. How you gonna get something back that they never gonna give you back except if you take it?
Right.
that's why I was
And they
really
tell you,
feeling
and that's why the NRA, they said, from my cold dead hand, the National Rifle Association, that's their motto, from my cold dead hand. They're not relinquishing their weapons, but go ahead.
when you were talking like it's an eye for an eye as far as you take, they took the money, so I feel like they really just gotta give it back.
Right.
I think about all the lynching, segregation. I do learn the design plan. I learned that they were staging riots back in the day.
Right.
So when you learn there's a lot of stuff that's fake, that
Yeah.
was never real.
Yeah,
You
crisis
see
actors. Yeah, because a lot of that is done to pass legislation.
That was it split be making me want to cry. Because you would realize like, damn, we would took down by the line, and it's never gonna get like I done exposed the whole Atlanta about what I know. Ain't nobody still help me do that.
Right.
Basically, I'm smart as a fool,
But-
they
but-
never put you out there.
But the Masons, the Eastern Stars, the fraternities, how can they come up against the very structure that's buttering their biscuits, that's benefiting them? They made an oath to the so-called white man. So how you gonna fix your mouth to bite the hand that feeds you?
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? This is why the fraternities, even though they boast in their numbers, even though they boast about being civic community organizations, right? Martin Luther King, he was a alpha. You know, Michael Jordan, he's a, Omega Psi Phi. Shaq, he's this. What have they done to help us? Nothing. Why? Because the boule is called the advisors to the king. The white man, he had a boule, Yale, Harvard. They had Skull and Bones. They did from Masonic lodges. And just like with integration, when they allowed us to come into their schools, they gave us HBCs. Niggas, they wanted to be Masons. They wanted to join their fraternities at a point when they had a paper bag rule. My black ass couldn't even join the black sororities and fraternities when they first started in the 1910s, 1920s. Why? Because they were practicing the same exclusionary, racist practices as they white masters that they were mimicking. So just like we did with the Masons, you got some niggas, they come together in a room, in a building with no windows, like they chopping and kicking some shit that we don't know when they not doing nothing. It's a he-man, woman haters club. Why? Because that so-called white man, he not gonna give y'all anything that's gonna benefit us. He's not gonna give you anything that's gonna empower us to overthrow him. Right? So of course you're gonna have your white fraternities and the white sororities, the white boule, then you got your black boule. Since 1910, and that word boule means advisors to the king. They call themselves the talented
You
10.
probably got good people. I don't know. This is not to the whole boule, but you probably got people that got caught up and stuff they didn't know nothing about, and they trying to change their life. But to the ones they know what they doing, but it's some house niggas.
Well, I'm saying from the rooter to the tutor because when you get initiated into these different fraternal orders, but into these different Masonic fraternal orders, you have to partake in oaths and rituals. These are Greek rituals that they are partaking in. We know the Greeks were homos and pedophiles and weirdos. So only God knows what rituals these guys have to do when they're being initiated into Omega Psi Phi, Sigma Pi Phi, right? You only know what they oath. The scriptures say, let your yea be yea and your nay be nay. You don't make oaths. An oath is an agreement. That's spiritual. Right. You see what I'm saying? So even a lot of times they go and groom them when they are upperclassmen, meaning you matriculated through freshman year, sophomore year. If you maintain a proper GPA, then they will come and invite you. This is where they recruit our best and our brightest to do the bidding for the white man's corporations post-secondary college and education. Right, our best and our brightest, they not coming back to the hood, benefiting us with their skills, talents, and abilities that they learned in college. They join the fraternity and they come out and they do the bidding for the white man and his corporations. So our best and our brightest minds, they scout them, they look at them. An upperclassman, you have to be at a certain GPA in good standing for them to even offer you a chance to come and join their sorority or their fraternity. But in joining these fraternities, you go through certain processes, initiations, and that's where they get defiled spiritually. This is why they can't come out and do any benefit or do any good for the masses of the people. They made an oath to be a member of a fraternity. They look at themselves as the talented 10th. 10% of the population that got the intelligence. You know, this is a age-old thing between Marcus Garvey and W.E.B. Du Bois. You know, he was in the Boule and he sabotaged Marcus Garvey in every attempt. Why? Because they made an oath to pledge their allegiance to the white man in college. So once they come out, you see how, you know, Michael Jordan, he's an Omega Psi Phi. Shaquille O'Neal, Omega Psi Phi. So what is Michael Jordan doing for the people? He can't do nothing for the people, right? This is why they scouted him. This is why they took the oath. And if you are influential, they're gonna come trying to get you to join. Because they don't care about you, but they care about your ability to influence the masses. Go ahead, brother.
Oh, no, they don't like you. I don't know if you and that. They want to let you know my name is Jesse Gray. Oh, I'm on their hands. Police, Dr. Lord, kind of understand the people do. But they act like they're not a part of those people. They hide their identity.
Right.
But they're doing the dirt.
Right. And that's what they use as their veil, secrecy. Right? This is how they're able to be powerful. COINTELPRO, if the white man wants to infiltrate a grassroots movement that means well for the people, he can get any one of those Boule initiates. He can get anyone from the military industrial complex. They take an oath to protect America from all threats, foreign and domestic. So it don't have to just be the Boule. Anybody that makes an oath with the so-called white man, they can be weaponized against us, domestically or foreign. The so-called white man, he understands that if he's president, we're gonna know enemy. So what does he do? He get people that look like us to inject them into our movements and infiltrate it from the inside out. This is what happened to the Black Panthers. This is what, the white man, not only did he do it, but he reveals it. You know, he's not just gonna kill Martin Malcolm, the Black Panthers, but they'll create documentaries about it 30 years later, admitting that they had people that were informants, that were going among them to bring back information, to eventually overthrow the movement and stagnate the country.
And also to let you know that you can't do shit about it.
Right.
We gonna do this, we gonna show it to you. You can't do shit about it.
Right, it's above your strength.
Not to speak, and that's what they doing to me now.
Right.
Instead of helping me out here, smart young man, the whole city know I be going around exposing everybody.
Hey,
but they never, y'all would have never knew who I was. They not gonna put me on YouTube, on TV. They not gonna let a person like you make it nowhere.
Hey, but I mean, you reveal.
See y'all, right? How many people walked up there?
Right.
It's only a few.
Hey, that's that famine of the word, but you revealed yourself to us. It say, my sheep shall hear my voice. So once you sat there and you listened patiently, I said, that brother got a beautiful spirit. You revealed yourself. But like your brother said, it's above our strength to identify who's wicked, who's informing. You would drive yourself crazy. Right. This is why you got to have faith. You got to have trust in the Heavenly Father that if they are among us, all things hidden will be revealed. Right. And it's also things are written, they have to happen. All things that are written, they got to manifest. Right. Bring out what you got.
This is Galatians 3:16.
Start with 4 and 16.
4 and 16.
Listen to this.
Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth?
Hey, because this brother, get 2 Corinthians 4 and 3. The brother said that he walks throughout the city informing people. The number one weapon in war is information, right? Our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. So you try to give them knowledge and information, but they end up looking at you sideways, right?
I tried to teach about the FBI, CIA. They looked at me like I was police.
Hey, bring this out one more time.
I'm trying to help you figure out. Hey. Like, you got dope, but that's how you know they part of the plan.
Right. Yeah, they modern day witches. I mean, they deal with that farmer kids. Right. Right. Hey, Galatians 4 and 16. This is what you feel when you try to deal with your people. Bring it out one more time.
Galatians 4 and 16.
Done.
Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth?
Like, damn, I was y'all brother when I was talking to you about all this trapping, all this small talk, all this frivolous talk about bullshit. But now when I'm talking to y'all about things that's affecting us on our day-to-day, now they walking away from you. They casting out your name as a heathen, calling you an agent, acting like you the goddamn police just because you can see through the damn fog. You know what I'm saying? You got vision. The Most High has revealed this knowledge to you that, hey, everything that they presented to you is not what it is. It's a darker hand that's running things behind the scenes. You know, you see a puppet, but it's a hand up that puppet's ass that's controlling them. And that's what you try to get them to see. You know, brothers think, look deeper than what is being told to us. Right? You can bring this out in 2 Corinthians 4:3. Yeah, but 2 Corinthians 4. You can start with 4 and 3. But you're telling them, hey, brother, everything that we doing, I fear that we perpetuating the stereotypes. I fear that we falling into the plan against us. But they saying no. They just going to continue to exhibit them same quality. They're not trying to change.
They're going to keep being evil, freaky. These fellas doing everything under the sun.
Hey, Mark
they
7
never
21
gonna repent.
Talks about from what comes out of the hearts of men.
It don't matter what play God bring in Revelation. They never gonna repent. You can tell somebody that they evil and they still gonna do evil. It's not gonna stop. That's why I'm like, it's good versus I don't even see a color no more. I just see good versus bad. Like if it's good versus evil, good. But evil winning.
I get this in
Them folks is winning. Like it's too many watchers, too many snitches, too many. They went into the fifth court. Like,
I get this in Sirach 33 and 17. Hey, because you have to understand on this physical plane, that's what you have. You have good and you have evil. And God, the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Yahweh, He creates the evil and the wicked for the day of evil. But the scriptures is about to just give you the understanding on both of these spectrums and how it's really necessary for balance. It says a false balance is an abomination. You got to have anger, happiness, jealousy. All of that is inside of your personality because you need all of those characteristics at a time. Hate the evil and love the good. Love and hate. Those are both essential, but the Bible's about to get into the spiritual basis. Sirach 33 and 17, you can bring that out.
Sirach 33 and 17. Consider that I labored not for myself only, but for all them that seek learning. Hear me, O ye great men of the people, and hearken with your ears, ye rulers of the congregation. Give not thy son and wife, thy brother and friend.
So like you start with Sirach 33 and 10. Sirach 33 and 10 is about to let you know on this physical realm, it's a battle between good and evil. Go ahead.
Sirach 33 and 10. And all men are from the ground, and Adam was created of earth.
Hey, because that's what the word Adam means. Men come from the ground. When we die, we return to the ground. Go ahead.
And all men from the ground, and Adam was created of earth. In much knowledge, the Lord have divided them.
Because Adam, he was just one of many men at that time. There were Adamites, but Adam was one chosen from among the Adamites to give this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Right? Because Adam and Eve weren't just the only two people in the earth at that time. But go ahead.
And made their ways diverse.
Men are diverse. Men's ways are diverse. Men are different. Go ahead.
Some of them have he blessed and exalted, and some of them have he sanctified.
Hey, which made separate. Some men he blessed and exalted, kings, men of renown, and some men have he sanctified by making them holy, by giving them certain instruction that other men don't have. Go ahead.
And set near himself, but some of them he hath cursed and brought low.
Hey, it says some men he set close to himself, he's chosen them, but some men he's cursed and he's brought low. Go ahead.
And turned out of their places, as the clay is in the potter's hand, to fashion it at his pleasure, so man is in the hand of him that made him, to render them as liketh him best.
If you had a piece of clay, you could make whatever you want out of it. A cup, a table, a sword, but you're the potter. Just like all men are creatures, and we have a creator. no different from the white man. He is created, he's a creature, and the Heavenly Father made him cursed. He's pushing him far away, but go ahead.
Good is set against evil.
Good is set against evil. This is balance. Go ahead.
And life against death. So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly.
Go ahead.
So look upon all the works of the Most High, and there are 2 and 2.
Up and down, left, right, good, evil, hot, cold. Look at all the works. You have balance. There are 2 and 2. Go ahead.
One against another. And I awake up last of all, as one that gathereth after the grape gatherers. By the blessing of the Lord I profited.
But the point was, the Most High creates different men for different reasons. And it's in his hand who he chooses to make righteous and who he chooses to make wicked. You know, well, they don't gotta be. He controls all those issues. Get this in Matthew 24:14. Right? And he said, look at all his works. He said a false balance is an abomination in Proverbs 11. So for you to just be nice all the time, that's a false balance. You're unbalanced. You see what I'm saying? Amos 5:15, hate the evil and love the good. This is a part of establishing judgment, right? To be judged, you got to be able to say, that's wrong. All right, that's permissible. That shit is outlawed. All right, we could do that. It's about being a judge. 1 Corinthians 6 says we'll judge angels, or 1 Corinthians 9. So this is a part of rehearsing the righteous acts. We got to be able to make determinations on what's good and what's evil, because this world is evil.
In a weird way, I'm not going to say it. I feel like the white man has something to do with the 10 Commandments. Because it don't, they do, I say they do some dirt to us. If we follow the word, we ain't going to do nothing back, because we got to look our neighbors.
Well, it says in Proverbs 4:7, it said, wisdom is the principal thing, but with all I get and get understanding. Now, when you're dealing with words like white, that won't be effective in a biblical setting. Just like you were saying, the white man, you feel like he infiltrated the 10 Commandments, so we can't really execute any of these judgments because it means we'll be breaking one of the 10 Commandments. When it said, love your brother, servants, obey your master, and all the other shit. Well, we telling you that's just taken out of context with the wrong understanding. Just like when it's talking about enemies, you can't apply that to the so-called white man. You will apply that to wicked niggas in your nation. Because we got enemies among ourselves. Whenever we talk about what the white man does to us, it's always a nigga that's quick to say, well, what about black on black violence? To let us know that we got enemies among our people more than the white man. All right, so those are the people that you forgive. 70 times 7. Those are your brothers. If a nigga break into your house and steal your flat screen off the wall, you forgive him. Because that's your brother you're supposed to forgive. But if the white man come in your community and, you know what I'm saying, steal your dog and rape it, you don't forgive him. Because it's twofold, it's manifold. This is why the scriptures, it really has to be taught to you, line upon line, precept upon precept. Because the Bible has been weaponized against us. This is why a lot of people are disenchanted with the Bible. Because they use this on a plantation to keep us docile at a point when we couldn't read. This is why Revelations 1:3 says, blessed is he that readeth. When you read the Bible, you'll find out that it prophesies the white man's genetic annihilation. Get this in Obadiah 1:18. The white man, if you look at the plague of white flesh in the Bible, it's called leprosy in the book of Leviticus. So the only time white skin is even being mentioned in the Bible is when it's to denote the plague of leprosy of the flesh. But as it pertains to the so-called white man, he's known as red in the Bible. In Genesis 25:21, bring that out real quick, but hold Obadiah. We're going to let you know where the white man came back into this physical earth after the flood. Because it was a great flood. The white man was here before the flood, but after the floods, only 8 people survived the flood. But we're going to let you know when he came back into the earth after the flood. Because we know that a black man, so-called black man, and a black woman could create an albino. Right? A so-called white man. So we know that they come from us. Right? You can bring us out, Genesis 25:21.
Genesis 25:21.
We're going to let you know when the white man came back into the earth. Go ahead.
And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren, And the Lord was entreated of him.
Right, so barren means his wife couldn't have babies. He prayed to a prophet that his wife could give birth in old age. Go ahead.
And Rebekah, his wife, conceived, and the children struggled together within her.
So she was pregnant, but the children in her womb, they were struggling, birthing pains. You know, when the baby be kicking, but even though it was twins, they were in the womb going at it. Go ahead.
And she said, if it be so, why am I thus?
Heavenly Father, if you wanted me to get pregnant, why am I dealing with all these birthing pains? Go ahead.
And she went to inquire of the Lord.
So she went to a prophet. Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
2 what?
2 nations are in thy womb.
So even though they had the same paternal and maternal lineage, the same mother and father, it was written that it would be 2 separate nations in your womb. Even though y'all had the same mother, same father, this is our wicked twin brothers, the so-called white man, right? Even though y'all have the same lineage, it said 2 nations will be separated from your womb. Even in her womb, we will fight. Go ahead.
2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
It said 2 manner of people will be separated from your bowels. One people will want to go and lay in a tent and drink some wine and have sex all day. Another one will want to go mudslinging in the woods with his dog. He want to go hunting some shit. You know, one of them, he gonna be physically superior. Well, we're gonna get into that. Go ahead.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
So one of the people is gonna be stronger than the other people. NBA, NFL, MLB, boxing, MMA. One of them just gonna have a natural prowess to athletics. He's gonna be stronger. We know who that is. Look at the Olympics. America racks up so many goals. Why? Because of the niggas that they have, you know what I'm saying, representing America. This is why America racks up goals, right? It said one people will be stronger than the other. We're stronger than the white man. I could put you in a room with 3 white men and you're gonna come out with their scalps in your hand. Why? Because you're stronger naturally, mentally, spiritually, and physically. Go ahead.
And the elder shall serve the younger. And when her days...
Hey, and it said 2 nations will be in your womb, 2 manner of people. And it said the elder shall serve the younger. So whichever one comes out first, he's going to have to serve the younger. So let's find out which one came out first. Go ahead.
And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb.
There were twins in her womb. Go ahead.
And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment.
So it said the elder shall serve the younger. Whichever one come out first, he's going to be a servant to the youngest. Now the first came out, it gave a description of how he looked. The first came out, how did he look?
Red all over like an hairy garment.
Hey, so it describes his color and his texture. This motherfucker was red and he was hairy. So this is the father of the so-called white man. They call themselves white. Look at the brother's shirt. I never seen a white person in my life. But if you look upon the white man's wrist, it's just pink, like a damn pig. Pink is derivative of what color? Red, right? It said the first came out red and hairy all over. This is the description of the so-called white man today. If you look at them, they still bear the same image, right? Red and hairy. Go ahead.
They called his name Esau.
Hey, it said the one that came out red and hairy, they called his name Esau. Get Genesis 36 and 8. His name was Esau. That word Esau in Hebrew means wasted away is heat. What's wasted away on the so-called white man? His melanin, his pigmentation. They can't stand on a carbon-based planet and soak up this vitamin D and all these harmful rays of the sun without catching melanoma skin cancer. Their skin will peel like a damn snake. They call themselves rednecks. When they come out in the sun, it attacks them. Why? Because that skin is actually unclean. It's a curse. It's sulfur-based, right? They have sulfur-based melanin. That's why they have that stench. Our melanin is selenium-based. Theirs is sulfur-based. On a carbon-based planet, we could stand in the sun and you get suntan from vitamin D. The harmful rays of the sun, those UV rays, you process them in the form of a tan. Your melanin reflects it, right? But the white man, they don't have that